Hi, everybody. I'm making this video especially for math and for science for lower school and intermediate school as well. I was playing around today helping log into the MyMath curriculum online, and I realized that it's the same login for math and for science. And there's a ton of really cool stuff on there. Some of that stuff I helped with last year when I was helping out with some science classes. There's an ebook for both, so they can have their book online. There's some interactives, there are some games, there are sometimes simulations, review sheets. There's a lot of really good stuff on there that I know it feels a little weird to not do these things in person, but there's a lot of good stuff to dig into that you could assign as a sort of homework activity or as sort of an activity for students and families to do together when they're at home. So I'm going to show you how to log into that, and then just a little peek into what's available. So let me share my screen first. Okay, so to log into either one, it's actually the same page. It'll be this, so my.mheducation.com/login. You can also, the way that I found it earlier, because it was a little hard to find the right login page, I just Googled MyMath login, and that's what came up. So you can do that as well. To find the right login, you probably have a login for your particular students if you teach math or science. If you don't, I can actually share that with you. So last week, Tekla shared the MyMath information with me just so that we would have it as the help desk people. And so that's how I got it, and I can share with you if you need it. So it usually looks like the first initial, last name, graduation year. That was the same way last year. That's kind of like the default that the account looks like. First initial, last name, graduation year, and then the password by default is CDS graduation year. It was that way last year. It seems like it's that way this year for all students. And so I have a spreadsheet with that as well. I just picked one at random to try out. I just picked a second grader so that we can see what her account looks like. So I pasted in the first initial, last name, graduation year, and then capital CDS, that's important, capital CDS, and then the graduation year, 2026. I'm sorry that this feels sort of like privacy violation, but these passwords and logins are sort of public to, at least among teachers, and students kind of figure it out as well, but I think sharing this among teachers right now is okay, especially for learning purposes. So when I log into the second grader's account, she has both science and math here. So like I said, it's really cool that it's the same login for both. That'll make it a lot easier for families as well when they're logging in and playing with these resources. So you can click MyMath. Either clicking that or launching it works. You can open the ebook, which is what it sounds like. It's their book, but it's online. There are some tools here I haven't played with in a while. There's the glossary. You can search here for like a word or a topic. The table of contents is over here. So you can go straight to the chapter that you're on. I think that second grade is on chapter 10 right now. So you can go straight to that. They're studying time. There are the same sort of pages you would find in the actual book, but online here. And then some of the parts, I think I skipped it.
Am I ready for numbers 1 through 2? Circle the time.
There we go. For some of them, it speaks to you, which is kind of cool, especially for people who have trouble, for students who have trouble with their reading. I believe there are other options here. Yeah, you can underline, circle, or box parts of the book. So like you would There, I put a green box around it. Just so like if you had a pencil and you were taking notes or you were underlining important words, you can do that in the online version as well. You can add notes to your left page or right page. Here, what does this one do? Oh, you can draw over it too. I hadn't played with that before, so you can actually doodle on the online book, not a real one. I believe you can also set the reading level. I'll play with that a little bit later. So other than the book, there are a lot of other things. Go back to this other tab. So in the menu area here, there's a lot of stuff here. You can assign homework, assign things to them. This notebook is where they can take notes. There are messages here. The resources tab is the one that I think is really useful. So resources. And then you can, again, go to the chapter that you're on. I put 10 for time. And there are games and tools. A check is sort of like an online review or a quiz. There are some interactives, videos, manipulatives. So there's a lot of stuff to dig into, like I said, that's really cool. And I think that students and families would enjoy even on the screen at home. A couple of these have songs or videos. So.
Every 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour, quarter of an hour.
Okay, that's enough of that. But there's that. There is, I think this is a worksheet that is in PDF form, but you can imagine someone bringing this up on a computer at home or probably an iPad. I think this is just a regular web page you could do on an iPad as well. And just like talking this out with their parents or their families at home. This one is just kind of a review. So again, this looks a little like a quiz if this were printed out, but online it could be a conversation. So if the child is doing this with their parent or with a sibling at home, they could talk about which one of these is the right answer and why. Okay. So there's a lot to dig into. Again, I'm going to go back to the original page I was at with both classes. There we go. So from that same page, you can go into their science curricula, and it's the same deal. There's a lot going on here that you can work with. Again, I'm going to go to resources because it's where you get all the stuff that you have. You can pick the lesson that you're on, living things, plants and their needs. And again, there's a lot of things here you can read. There's a song, there'd be a scientist notebook, which is the workbook that they usually have to work through. Online, you can actually type in and then save it as the PDF. So that's pretty cool. You can at least think about these questions and then write or draw some answers to them. Let me go back here. The leveled readers, I think this is what I was thinking of before. This is pretty cool. So the readers here, you can see they all look pretty similar. This is called From Seed to Tree, but there are, 4 different versions of them. And that's because they're for different reading levels. So they either have buttons that read it out loud for you. Some of them have different text on them. I think this is the one that for each one you can click this and it will read aloud for you. It has the audio icons there. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's it for these two. I really wanted to show you how to log into them, and go back to stop this. I wanted to show you how to log into them and then how much stuff is in there that's really cool, and that will be an online version of some of the interactives you might do in person. So for each of those, you could log in yourself and then record a video like I'm doing right now, digging into them and talking through them with students to share as a video, or you could assign them as activities to do at home. And I think either option works really well. I have a different video to show you how to record your own video and screen share, doing all of the same thing that I'm doing as we speak. So I hope this was helpful. Have a good day, guys.